Well, here we go. Automatic for the win. No clutch, no shift lever. How do you start the of course, there's a front brake.
Yamaha has chosen the MT-09 to debut its new semi-automatic technology, and of course it has a 4-letter acronym, Y-AMT, Yamaha Automated Manual Transmission. There's no fancy dual clutch or anything overcomplicated for that matter. Essentially, there's a few actuators and an electronic motor, which replicates what your left foot does normally, and it only adds 2.8 kilograms to the MT-09. Being a semi-auto, there are 2 modes, manual, which allows the pilot to shift via switchgear buttons, and automatic for the full lazy person's experience, where you'll find 2 maps. D holds high gears and lower revs, and D+ holds lower gears and slightly higher revs. It's an option, not a demand, although bikes with an automatic option are currently outselling their manual counterparts. Yamaha reckons it changes the way you interact with motorcycles. There's only one way to find out.
How do you make it pull off then? Go to the mode D. I don't know. Oh no, I'm shift. Oh, yeah. Always select first gear. Well, I'm going to start fully automatic. So, oh god, it's quite clunky. First and second was a bit clunky. The gearbox is neutral at the bottom. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and that's to avoid any issues. Although first to second is still a bit clunky, the rest of them seem to be quite seamless. This is the first time I've ridden a bike since my little whoopsie at Thruxton. It's a shame really I didn't break my left hand, because it would have been the perfect reintroduction back onto a bike, but there we go. So you can almost do like the double tap, you know, when you want to change down on a car quickly, on an automatic car. Just give it the old double tap. We've got the seesaw indicator. Oh god, fucking hell. There's so much to think about. Well, there's not, but I'm just overthinking it. Oh god, it's so weird, the bike changing gear when you're not expecting it to. I think the kind of slightly jerky, awkward shift is because you're not expecting it. That's half the thing. Is you don't know when. You got a rough idea, you know, within a second or two, but it's still a bit of a surprise, and I guess that's what, because it's doing exactly the same thing as your foot does. It's just mechanically operated. So got a school zone, 600 meters. Slow down. Don't hit any kids, you maniacs. And of course you can override the auto mode. We've got the buttons here on the left. And just going back to what I was saying earlier, there's quite a lot to think about, or overthink in my case. We've got 10 buttons on the left flipping dash. That's 10 buttons. That's not including the left and the right of the indicator. The indicator is 1 button. I'm counting that as 1. 10 on the left and 4 on the right. You're getting your money's worth here. And just with the shift of a button, we're in manual. We're in manual mode. And I'm using my thumb to shift down and my index finger to shift up. So it's like a push-pull thing on the bar down here. I think the shifting actually is notably smoother, but I think that's because I know the shifting's coming. I know the shit. I'm not surprised by it. I'm not going, ugh. I'm sure that will the surprise factor, the surprise element will soon vanish, but in automatic mode that is. But whether you like it or not, this technology is or will be a part of the future. Whether it's older gentlemen wanting an easier ride and an automatic bike might suit them, might help the arthritis, or for younger kids who are coming through, they've ridden, they're learning on twist and goes, and then they, in 5-10 years time there's going to be a hell of a lot more sports bikes, touring bikes, naked bikes, all with this kind of technology. So this might actually be a really nice kind of feature for racing. I don't think it's for everyone. I don't think it will help riders who have been used to sort of shifting with their feet all their lives, but the old dog new tricks type thing. But I think for newer riders coming through who are not used to that and want the ease of shifting in the middle of a corner just by pressing a few buttons on the bar, then yeah, I'm interested to see what it's like. In fact, Mr. Yamaha, let's take one on track. I mean, it is. it's really nice. It's a really nice execution. And because you're shifting with your fingers, you have more sense and dexterity with your fingers. So you're not, you know, trying to, you know, move your ankle, your leg, and shift the lever. You're just pressing a button. So the actual shift action is nicer and more mechanically sympathised, if that makes sense. Oh god, I really want to wheelie, but I haven't got the strength in my wrist. And I know I just tried off camera and it didn't, I just haven't got it. And when it comes up, I'm going to have big whiskey throttle. I don't think it's going to end well. Guys, you know me, anyone who knows me will know I love a Minger. I'm sorry if I can't do one today, but it's for the best. That's the one thing that I've taken to straight away, is not going for a clutch or not going for the, you know, not going for a little finger when I come to a stop or roundabout or anything like that. That's something that does come to you straight away, sort of intuitively. The one thing I am struggling with is no lever, no shift lever. I'm not struggling, that's the wrong word. And obviously because it's mechanically activated, you're not getting, you can't go, you know, it's not like a sort of a paddle shift or a game, you know. It's, you still got to, you can't just tap the button loads of times and it's going to shift down. It's in fact, if you press it twice within a second, it only shifts once. So yeah, it's worth bearing in mind if you well, is it? I don't know. Actually, that's a good shout. Actually, changing mid corner, it's really, it doesn't upset the bike at all. Oh god, I've done it. One thing I will say, it's going to take a little while to make sure that you get the right shift. You know, you don't want to be sort of getting the wrong way, getting your fingers wrong, go down, up, left pull, left, right, you know, if you're in the middle of a corner going, you know, getting a bit of a lick on, then you don't want to be getting the wrong shift. Yeah, the downshift is surprisingly nice actually. Sort of reassuring, doesn't upset the bike. Oh, I like it, I really like it. Every time I see a crest, I just want to hoik a Minger, but I haven't got the strength, and I've got, for once in my life, I've got to act the grown up. Oh, he hurt his fanny. I mean, he hurt his fanny is quite a viable sentence these days, isn't it? Oh, we're really setting to work here now. We're really setting to work. Certainly sort of sketchy, damp conditions like this, when you're not sure of the tarmac, it is better in manual mode because you can downshift that extra gear or two that the actual automatic mode won't do. Oh, that's slippery. And of course, when the bike, you've got higher revs and you're in a lower gear, you have more control of the bike. Oh, that's the same noise you get with the SP and the new derivative of the MT-09, that naughty kind of race sounding shift. I just went for a foot shift as I was bouncing it off the limiter. What a twat. Well, so far I've got to say, I went in with an open mind, because you have to in these things, an objectively open mind, and I'm very impressed. However, there's no parking brake, so we've got to figure out how to keep the bugger, maybe when you put the stand down. No, the ignition's got to be off. Oh right, okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's not going to roll off now. There we go. Well done, baby, well done. Right, on, front brake. Okay, so it remembers we're in manual. I've got to say, the initial part of the throttle, which is probably the most difficult thing with an automatic, is remarkably smooth. Oh, it smells like fish. Yeah, so just chatting to some Japanese guys, and you know, some very, very influential Yamaha people who have been developing this system, and we will be seeing this on other bikes, there's no doubt about it. And certainly the sort of lower capacity bikes with this system, this sort of Gen 1 system, which is quite rudimentary really, and being the Gen 1, it's not directly connected, it's not working with the IMU. So like I said, it is quite crude, but however, they've said it will do, you know, the next generation will be talking with an IMU, so it won't shift in the middle of a corner in automatic mode. And also worth noting, something I didn't pick up on initially is, you know, even when you are in, you know, you say you stop in 4th gear, it will downshift for you when you come to a stop. And I didn't notice that. It's only, I've done it, you know, come to a stop a couple of times in 3rd or 4th or wherever, and it definitely, yeah, definitely shifts down for you. This bike in general, so easy to ride. Forget about the gearbox technology and finger buttons and everything else. Just in these conditions, with these Bridgestone S23s, it is it's a piece of piss to ride. Oh, you never get bored of that noise. Here we go. Oh, okay, now can't see anything. The weather is declining. However, I've been on the bike 2 hours now, and my head's got used to it, my brain's accepting the fact that fingers are shifting, and it's all quite nice really. I mean, assuming you can hit, oh look at that, wow. Assuming you can even see me or hear me, assuming the GoPro hasn't packed up. Jeez man, jeez Louise. Well, that was a delightful luncheon. We had a lamb broth, a Reinhold broth to start, and then we had a very nice beef, quite low rent, but it's very tasty beef steak. So highly recommended. I don't know what it's called, but the sun's out, the GoPro's dried out hopefully, and we're really going to set to work. Oh, still went for the lever then. Been an hour off the bike, I went for the lever, I went for the shift lever. Right, so I'm going to go back to automatic and see what happens. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. I just don't connect with it, I don't need it. But I appreciate that people will need it, and there are people that would need it and would like it. I mean, look, if you're commuting every day in and out of town, then absolutely, I think it'll be brilliant. Save your clutch, save the hassle, you just twist and go, and you have all the benefits of a, you know, a naughty sporty bike like this, with the comfort and joy. And that's the biggest thing I'm finding in the moment in automatic, is when you need that lower gear in a corner, you can obviously, of course you can override it, but it changes up again too soon. It's not for me, I'm going back to manual. Just had a little panic then, went for the downshift on the lever again. I'm just needlessly shifting now for that noise. I mean, you could ride like this in auto mode, but it would be trickier, slightly more dangerous. I mean, this is the environment for automatic, so I'll just stick it in automatic. I've got no worries in life. I just open the throttle, close the throttle, brake when I need to, and that's about it. And yeah, there's some people that think and know and understand that it takes away a lot of involvement, and I get that. For me too, you know, the clutch is an understated part of a motorcycle, but I get why people would want to use the technology. So open mind, guys, open mind. Yeah, the slower speed stuff, as I said before when we first jumped on the bike, it's a little bit clunky. It's definitely not a seamless box, that's for sure. And even when we're sort of pootling round, you know, not pushing it, it's fine. I don't think it's as enjoyable. Like I said, it takes away some involvement, but as I said, I see the value in the technology. I'm going back to manual though. Ah, this is the big dam, the bungee jump dam. Damn! Oh, I'd love to bungee jump off that bugger. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, 122 metres, big bugger. Well, I think the job's in tatters here. Ladies and gentlemen, the British motorcycle media. Got a bloody river here. Got an MT-09 dam. Job's fucked. Should have stayed in England. So that's it. We've done just over 320 kilometres on this bugger today. Well, Carl's all pissy because I just rode past and hit the kill switch, and of course you can't start it again without touching the front brake. This is a right pain in the body. I had to get you back. I suddenly remembered. I was like, fuck it, he's got to have it back. There's no way I can.
I need on the legs, I couldn't get your side stand. And I thought pitting you on the grass was a bit much.
Number 44.
Well, I've got purple hands. It rained a lot. But what else have we learnt today? Well, one of the lads just asked me actually, he said, has the technology, this Y-AMT technology, added anything to the MT-09, or has it made it better? And I'm like, it's a really good question, because I'm just like, I don't think it has. The only thing really it has done is added versatility, even more versatility to the MT-09. As I mentioned, the automatic function, the automatic mode is fine if you're doing commuting or you're just riding around and you don't need to use a clutch all the time. I think that's what this technology is for. I am slightly surprised that Yamaha put it on the MT-09 because the bike is so sporty. I mean, obviously a lot of people don't use it for tearing up A roads and knee down everywhere, but it is still a little sporty number. I would have thought it went on a tracer. I think we will definitely see the technology in EICMA. Well, we definitely will in EICMA, and I think the tracer range will be the next best thing to that, or the sort of smaller capacity ranges, because when you consider really this technology is quite crude and quite rudimentary, I think it would be better suited, this sort of Gen 1 system, on a on a sort of sports tour or the lower capacity stuff. But I'm really intrigued to see, as I mentioned before, really intrigued to see what happens when the next stage of development comes in, because they're already developing it. They're already talking to the IMU, and there'll be lots more in this functionality. The only real other downside I can see is it definitely, after lunch it took me a while to get back into the swing of things. I spent 40 years of riding bikes pretty much using clutch and using your foot to change gear, and it's the old dog new trick thing. I think it's going to take a while to get your brain calibrated, get it up to speed, and flicking fingers. I mean, a lot of guys like doing that, but yeah, we'll see what happens. So when you consider the Y-AMT bike is only 500 quid more than the standard MT-09, then it's not bad value, is it? I'm genuinely impressed. I came in with an open mind, and I'm genuinely impressed. And it has its flaws, like anything, but you have to look at the bike for what it is and what the technology does. A lot of people go, why? I'm just going to ride my gear bike with a clutch. That's absolutely fine, mate. But just take a step back, consider what the technology is for, and try it. Trust me, by the time you've had a few flicks of the finger, I think you'll be genuinely impressed.